There's just a couple more things that I would like to change on here, just some kind of finishing touches, things that make it look a little more polished. So the first of those is going to be a loading screen. So if you're loading this off of a server, it could take a couple seconds to load, and it just kind of looks broken as layers come in one at a time. So we're already counted, like we already know when everything is loaded, so I'm just going to go to the HTML over here, and underneath the canvas element, I'm going to say div class equals loading dash screen, and then ID equals loading, and then inside of that I'm going to say loading dot 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 and then slash div. Okay, and then I'm going to save that, and then go over to your CSS file, and underneath dot canvas we're going to say dot loading dash screen, and then opening curly bracket, and there's going to be quite a few of these, so you might need to pause to get them all, but I'm going to say position absolute, wow, if I can spell, width 100%, height 100%, background white, top 0, bottom 0, left 0, right 0, visibility visible, and opacity 1, text align, center, display, flex, flex direction, column, align items, center, justify, content, center, line height, this probably doesn't matter, transition 0.25s, ease, all 0.75s, color number 999, also probably doesn't really matter. Okay, so if you've gotten all of that, and then we're adding one more underneath it that says loading dash screen dot hidden, no space between those two. I'm saying visibility hidden and opacity 0. So basically all of this pretty much makes a white overlay screen that has the word loading right in the middle of it, and will fade out when you add the class hidden to it, which we'll do through JavaScript. Yeah, there's not really a lot to that other than kind of vertically aligning the text and horizontally aligning the text. So I'm going to hit save there. We're going to go over to JavaScript, and then we just need to add a couple things. So I'm up at the top of the JavaScript file, and right above this load counter I'm going to say var loaded equals false, false, and then I want to get a reference to the loading screen above that, so I'm going to say get reference to loading screen, and that's just going to be var loading underscore screen equals document dot get element by ID, and that's called loading in our HTML. So I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to come down to where we check if everything is loaded. So that's right here in our layer list for each, right inside of this if load counter is greater than or equal to layer list dot length. So we're going to say hide loading, and that's a function that we need to write, and that is hide the loading screen. And down here we just need to say function hide loading, and inside of that we'll say loading underscore screen dot class list with a capital L on the list dot add hidden. Okay, so save that, refresh over here, and now you can see you have a loading screen that shows up and then fades out as soon as it's loaded. So that's a nice little addition. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to add a little bit of a 3D effect. So so you've got your layer offsets, but if you're just looking at this not through a camera, it doesn't look super 3D, so we're going to add kind of a rotation of the entire canvas element as well. And this is a little trickier, probably less code though. So we're going to go down inside of this draw canvas function, just underneath our clear rect line here, add a couple of lines, and then we're going to say calculate how much the canvas should rotate. And then we're going to say var rotate underscore x equals pointer.y times 0, let's see, negative 0.15 plus, actually, but I don't need that negative. Plus parenthesis motion dot y times 1.2 semicolon, and then rotate y equals pointer dot x times 0.15 plus motion dot x times 1.2. And then underneath that, we're actually going to rotate the canvas. Actually rotate the canvas. So we're going to say canvas.style.transform equals, this can be a little tricky, so I might actually do this right above here. I'm going to say var transform string, equals. So what we're doing is we're making a string using some variables inside the string that we're setting as a CSS value. So this is just a little bit weird, but bear with me. You need to be careful about where you put the quotes here, though. Rotate x, opening parenthesis, end quote, plus rotate underscore x plus opening quote, deg, ending parenthesis, space, rotate y, opening parenthesis, end quote, plus rotate underscore y plus deg. Okay, and then semicolon, and then down here we're going to reference that transform string. Okay, so I hit save, and then I'm going to rotate, or I'm going to refresh my page over here, and now you can see that the entire thing actually rotates a little bit. That's not quite right, so I did need that negative, actually. Times negative 0.15, and now that looks better. So now the entire thing kind of rotates just a bit as I move my finger around the screen, or if I move my device. One of those is inverted when I'm moving my device. So I probably need times a negative on that motion, probably motion y. Let's try this. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay. That looks right. Cool. So now you have more 3D effect. Great. And the last thing I want to do is, you notice when I'm using touch controls or mouse and then I let go, it just immediately goes back to normal. I'd like to animate that back. I have been trying not to use third-party JavaScript libraries mostly, but there's a pretty cool one that I just want to show you really quick. Called tween.js, so that's available on GitHub, and I will include a link to it in the project. But if you open it up, let's see, if you go to tween.js, this is the page that you would come to, and then you would tap on source here, and then tween.js, and then you can hit raw, and you should be able to select everything by tapping and holding on the screen. This can be just a little bit annoying on iOS, but with enough patience, I think you can do it. And I'm going to copy all of that, and then back in Coda, I'm going to tap on the little box icon in the top left, and then I'm going to hit the plus at the top right of the Coda screen, and hit new file. I'm going to call this tween.js, all lowercase, and hit create. And then I want to tap on tween.js, tap edit in Coda, and tap once and paste. And it looks like I got everything. Okay. So then I'm going to hit save in the top right, and then I'm just going to tap on tween.js at the top and hit close tween.js. So then we're going to go back to index.html, and this is just how you would include another JavaScript library. So right above our main.js file, I'm going to say script type equals text / JavaScript source equals quote dot / tween.js / script. And then I'm going to save that and then go back to my JavaScript file. And there's a couple places that we need to edit this. Hang on, let's go back to our image here, make sure that's working. Okay. So it's just, let's see, place where this is going to start kind of conceptually is when you release touch or mouse. So that's in our end gesture function, which is right here. So you're going to delete pointer.x and pointer.y equals 0, both of those lines. And instead, you're going to say tween all capitals dot remove capital A all. And then we're going to say bar pointer underscore tween equals new tween all capitals dot capital TWEEN pointer dot 2 x0 y0 oops and curly bracket comma 300 closing parenthesis dot easing tween dot easing dot back dot out dot start. Oops. I think that's right. Yeah. Okay, so basically what this does is it says when you stop touching or clicking on the screen, it's going to start a new tween that will automatically update in our render loop. So we need to go back to our render loop, which is up in our draw canvas function here. So right underneath the part where you clear the whole context, we are instead, well, not instead, we're just going to say update the tween, and we will say tween dot update. And I think that's all you need to do. So if we hit save and then refresh the page, and then you move it and then let go, you can see that now it bounces back nicely. So you don't have to do that, that's optional, but I think it's a little nicer. It doesn't feel quite as broken when you let go. And really that's about it. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know if you have questions in the discussions section. I unfortunately can't help everybody with all of their code like I mentioned before, but if you have some specific questions, make sure you check out the code that I'll include and let me know. And thanks so much for watching.